Well, are we ready to go climbing?
Absolutely. 2 years later.
Martin's always up for it. I'm blood sugar 90, relatively stable. I think we're ready. So this is the first bit of climbing in British Columbia. Martin is going to show us around some of the local classics. This is called Barber's Rock, where we're going. Alright, so that's a 15-minute approach, pretty steep so far, so good. I see a lot of fractures in here. Hopefully the rock holds. That'd be nice.
What's the chuggy holes on there?
Lots of jugs. Martin says this is a good warm-up. For the record, I'm not sure I entirely trust him. I think he may be trying to sandbag me. You feeling solid?
Can't complain.
Well, you never complain.
You haven't heard me complain yet.
I've literally, in 4 years and change, I've never heard you complain once, and I've never heard you utter a curse word.
Let's see what happens after 2 weeks. Just keep in mind this is like old school testing on the arm.
Oh, testing on the arm. This is something that has not been seen on this channel yet.
It's been like, it was all the rage like 12 years ago, and I'm probably the only one still caught up in the rage.
Are you going to be able to get blood out of there with all the swole?
Looks like it's coming out pretty well.
So we can squeeze blood out of a stone.
Actually, not too bad.
Okay, so can you interpret those Canadian numbers for us?
Oh yeah, like the metric system.
Yes. So
right.
Millimoles per liter instead of milligrams per deciliter.
Which is also metric, but it's like
true.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Multiply by 18 for you US folk, and we've got like what?
So that's like right around 100.
5. Yeah, so like 90 thereabouts.
Sweet.
So yeah.
All right, pressure's on. Now, let me see. I gotta do mine.
Which is kind of surprising. What the adrenaline pancake would.
I'm at 111. So Martin's beat me by a couple points. We're gonna name this route Adrenaline Pancake in honor of Martin's breakfast, because we were expecting high blood sugar from the pancake that he ate and the adrenaline experienced on the route. Now we are waiting for this rain to pass, so it's a little overhanging here, so we're kind of dry, just tucked in, hanging out, making jokes about diabetes and stuff. Hopefully nobody gets offended, but we're diabetic, so we're allowed to make those jokes, and we're allowed to say diabetic too. So always have to be careful not to say like, oh, I'm diabetic too, because like a lot of people like diabetic type 2, but like diabetic also, or I have diabetes.
Right. Yeah.
Well, why don't we have a second to wrap here? I'm curious. So what is your feeling about the term diabetic? Like, to you, is there a difference between saying I'm diabetic versus I'm a person with diabetes? Like, how do you feel about that?
To me, it's the same thing. I wouldn't see a difference myself.
Yeah.
I've never kind of thought about those terms. I tend to say I'm type 1 diabetic. I think there's a difference between that and I'm diabetic.
I think a lot of it has to do with the context. Looks like it might be clearing up over there.
For another 10 minutes. I grew up here, The last 20 years I've been in Calgary for studies and work. But prior to that, this was my stomping ground.
And so now you're living in Oman and working over there.
Right. And I had no idea that Oman has, these really rugged mountains, and for people who like outdoor adventure, you really can't can't go wrong living there.
Do you ever have any like issues coming back into the States, like with your insulin and stuff? Do they give you? Have you ever had a hard time with that? Because like I've heard horror stories, but I've never had a hard time with it.
The one time I got a little anxious was when they stopped me going into Oman. I took was almost a year supply of insulin in a carry-on. So yeah, I guess they were probably wondering what's in there. But no, I explained it to them and they were good.
Yeah, you walking good?
Yep, locked and loaded, we're ready.
Sweet. Climate? I don't know if I had mentioned to you, I had just been looking for random information on the internet of how a type 1 diabetic could successfully wander around in the bush like I used to before I was diagnosed.
Right.
Without, just laying over and croaking.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, your living vertical thing came up 4 or 5 down in the Google search, so it was good.
Nice.
Long ago I was driving and just getting stuck in traffic. I'm like, oh man, I gotta climb after all this? It's okay, it'll be worth it. And I got to a point maybe 6 months after diagnosis, I just kind of said, screw it. Like, I'm going back to the way I used to live and I'm going to see if it works.
Nice.
And for the most part, I'm still on that path.
Yeah.
And I'm pushing my climbing harder than I ever have before. And so yeah, maybe it's just a testament to sticking to it.
There's a lot of fear out there. And I mean, it is risky, just like anything, like with climbing, it's risky, but like, you have to manage that risk, otherwise you can't do anything. People always ask me, like, what's the connection between climbing and diabetes? Like, it's all just risk management. It boils down to it. And everything that I've learned about diabetes just about has helped me with climbing, and everything I've learned about climbing has helped me with diabetes.
If I can make it up this, I can do it.
Yeah.